Good morning. How are we? It's Sunday, the 25th of April, 2021, the day that we're all about, the last day really, before we start to go back to a more normal world. Here in the UK, here in Wales, things start to open from tomorrow, and we can finally get back to the new normal. Maybe we should just get back to better. Morning, Lisa. Looks like Julie's in as well. Morning, Julie. So, this morning's session, Sunday stretch and mindfulness. So we're going to start it out. We'll just work through a little bit of flexibility, gently kind of open the body after all the workouts that we've done this week. Restore everything after what we've done to it. And then I've got something for you to think about as we go through all of this. So we'll get your brain working a little bit. But with good cause. I'm not going to make you think too much on a Sunday morning. So what I'd like you to do to start with, please, is sit down. I just want you to be seated, whether you've got your legs crossed, whether you're sat with your feet out in front of you, whatever you fancy. Morning, June. How are you? So all I want you to do, folks, is I want you to start just seated. Put your hands on your lap, hands on your leg. You don't need to sit up really tall and really rigid. Just stay upright, but fairly relaxed, and just be mindful that your body is seated. Feel where the pressure is in the body. Feel where the tension is in the body. And just sit and give yourself a moment. Listen to the music, I'll be quiet. Give yourself a moment to just feel where there's any tension in the body. And as you feel this tension, just focus on your breathing. Just breathe steadily. Feel how the breath affects the body. Are you lifting your chest? Or is your stomach coming forwards? Do your shoulders move? As you breathe out, does it reverse the process, or does your body stay fairly stable? So now use this focus that we have, and the feeling, the awareness of your body. Use this to help you get more from this flexibility, from this stretching session. All I want you to do is you're going to bring your hands to the floor and slowly walk your hands forwards, reaching forward, bringing your chest down towards your legs, your stomach down towards your legs. Till you come in towards the floor, a little bit of a stretch across the lower back and across the hip. Just look down at the floor, you don't need to look forwards. Look forward to the rest of your day, but you don't need to keep your head forwards. And then slowly walk your hands back towards you, back to that seated position. And with your hands in front of you, walk them around to one side. So you start to turn your upper body. Go as far as you're comfortable with. You don't need to force the stretch or force the position. Still keep that breath nice and relaxed and controlled. If it starts to ease off, move around a little bit further. And then slowly bring yourself back to the center. And let's work around to the other side. Walking your hands around, gently moving into that twist, into that turn, into that stretch. Hold that position again. If it eases, move yourself a little bit further. And then slowly bring your hands round to the center. And once more, take your hands out in front of you. See if you can feel like you're coming down a little bit lower this time. The stomach and chest moving down towards your legs, down towards the floor. And then slowly walk your hands back in towards you. And let's lie it down. Lie yourself back. Lie out nice and flat. Hands by your side. And just breathe. Just feel your body relaxing into the floor. Mentally scan from your head to your toes and back. Up and down, focus through the body. Feeling any real spots, any real points of tension. And just try and feel that tension release, switch off, relax the body into the ground. Breathe steadily. Just be mindful of how your body actually is. From here, I'd like you to pull your right knee towards your chest. Hold the lower leg with both hands. Just gently apply a little bit of pressure to that leg to pull it towards you, to stretch around the back of the hip, through the glutes, around the lower back. And then release that leg slightly and bring your right leg across the body, trying to get your right knee towards the floor on the left side of your body. If you now take your right hand up in the air, bring your right hand down to the right side of the body. We can open a stretch through the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the core, the hip, the glutes. And just stay here. Hold that position. If it helps, put your left hand on top of your right knee to help it stretch down towards the floor. And just breathe through any tension that you feel. Turning those muscles off, relaxing into position. Slowly bring yourself back to the center. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left leg. Let's bring that knee in towards the chest, same as we did the other way a moment ago. Again, a little bit of pressure, pulling in that knee towards the chest. Start that stretch through the hamstring, through the glutes, through the lower back, the back of the leg, the back of the hip, the back of the torso. And then release it slightly and take your left knee across to the right side of the body, aiming for the floor. If you get there, great. If you don't, that's great. Take your left hand up above you and bring your left hand down to the left side of the body to create that twist, to create that stretch. From your left hand through your arm, your shoulder, your chest, the core, the hips. Like we did earlier, if you want, put your right hand on top of your left knee to add a little weight to it to open that stretch. Bring yourself into that position and just breathe through any tension you feel. Now slowly return to the center. Bring that leg down, hands by your side, and once again, just lie as flat as you can. And feel, scan through the body mentally. Feel where the tension is. And just try and release it. Breathe through it, turn those muscles off. Just relax and breathe. Taking your time now, turn yourself over and come round to all fours. Your knees under your hip, your hands under your shoulder. Looking down at the floor, we're just going to raise our upper back, arch up and over, tuck your chin to your chest. Stretch up, tuck your hips in, and then push your hips back to your heels. And slide your hands forward, relax your upper back. Just drop into that stretch. Feel it stretch out around your shoulders. Slowly bring yourself back up to all fours, and this time I want you to dip your lower back, arch your back, so we stretch through the stomach, lift your chest, roll your hips back into place. Now take your hands forward slightly, and then drop your hips forward towards the floor to come into that stretch for your stomach and through the hips. Let it stretch, let it release, just breathe. Push yourself back to come back to all fours, and let's do that all once more. So So arch yourself up and over, tuck your hip in, your chin down to your chest. And then gently rock your hips back towards your heels. Slide your hands forwards to come down into that stretch position. Your head down to the floor. And bring yourself back up to all fours. And dip. Arch your lower back. Roll your hips back, lift your chest. Take your hands forwards slightly. And then rock your hip forward until you can bring it down close to the ground or onto the floor. Still head up, chest lifted, and breathe. Feel that stretch, feel the release through the front of the hip, through the front of the thigh. And bring yourself back up, back to that position of all fours. And let's start by taking your left foot forwards. Bring your head up, left foot out in front of you, and lean onto that front leg, onto that left leg. You can rest your hands on your left thigh. Just allow your hip to gently push forwards. Stretch the front of the hip, the front of the thigh, as you lean into this stretch. This is a great way to relieve tension off the lower back as well. If you feel like you're struggling, you're straining to hold that position, just rest on that front leg. Breathe into it. If you've stepped too far, adjust. Bring your foot back. Make that stretch a little bit shallower. Find your range. Just hold this position. As it eases, lean forwards, drop your hip forward a little more. Allow that stretch to open. And then slowly push yourself back. And let's change sides. We take the other leg forward. Again, lean into it. Allow that stretch from the front of the hip. Gently lean in. Keep breathing through it calmly. Just give in to that stretch. The tension you feel, just let it go. Just relax. Breathe. Always in control of that position. And slowly push yourself back and return to where we started, seated. Come round to seated, whether your legs are crossed, just tucked in next to each other, feet in front of you, wherever you are happy. If you'd rather lie down for this last section, that's fine. All I want you to do is to sit, eyes closed, and just be aware of your body. Just be aware of how it feels. Feel any tension. Feel any areas that feel incredibly relaxed. Allow that relaxation to spread through the rest of the body. So with your eyes closed, as you focus on your body and just trying to relax and center yourself, I'd like you to listen to something that will carry us forwards through these next few days and next few weeks. In the 1960s, the National Zoo of Washington, D.C. adopted a white tiger named Mohini. When they adopted Mohini, she was in a cage 12 feet by 12 feet. Steel bars all around. And she would spend her days pacing around this 12-foot by 12-foot cage. That was her space. That was her safe zone. That was her world. A year or so later, the National Zoo was remodeled, and the keepers were very aware of the lack of space Mohini had. So a new enclosure was made for her, with, by comparison, acres and acres of space for her to run, roam, frolic, to be as natural as she could, to be the majestic white tiger that she was. Now, when Mohini was introduced to this space, she ventured into it, she walked around, and she was found in the back corner of this new spacious enclosure, walking round in a 12-foot by 12-foot square. Mohini had become accustomed to living in such a small space, and one can only think she was overwhelmed by all of that space she was given, all of the freedom she suddenly had. So her safe zone, her happy place, was a 12 by 12 square. Now, why am I telling you this, I hear you ask? Tomorrow, here in Wales, all across the world, we are slowly returning back to normal. We've been in lockdown for so long. We've been in isolation. We've been in our own little cage we call home. And now we are to return to normality, to more space. I myself am anxious about this. Tomorrow I return to work, indoors and outdoors. I have more than my little cage to maintain. But just be mindful when you feel yourself getting stressed or getting anxious in this new, larger environment. If you feel your body getting tense, acknowledge it. Place your hand on that tense area, whether it is your back, your neck, your shoulders, your jaw. Touch it. Hold it. Nurture it. Remind yourself now, above all other times, it is okay not to be okay. But this new, larger space we have, it's okay to feel tense. We are all in this together. Allow yourself to feel tense. Allow that tension to go. Relax. Ease yourself into this new life. And look after yourself. And on that note, I think we're done. Thank you so much for joining me for this today. I hope you feel a little more relaxed, a little more in touch with yourself, aware of your body, and I hope you will keep that story of Mohini with you as we start to restore normality. I will be back tomorrow. Classes, our sessions from tomorrow are moving forwards to 9:30 as I've got to go to a bigger cage during the day. Sessions will be online. They will always be available for you. And as ever, if you need anything, folks, message me. Get in touch. I'll do what I can for you. So, go enjoy your day. Go and enjoy your time. Enjoy the sun. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.